What's up, guys? Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Girlstreamers. That's right, guys. We are on episode 20. Girlstreamers is a podcast bringing you the girl streamers that you know and love. Girlstreamers is a community that supports and promotes girls that stream. We are a bi-weekly podcast and we'll be introducing you to some amazing girl gamers and allow you, the viewer, to get to know some of your favorite streamers. My name is Nymphadora and I will be your host during this interview. And tonight we will be interviewing Roxxikks, and if there is time at the end, we'll take questions from the audience in the channel. This is a live podcast, but will also be available for download on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and now Google Play. What's up, Roxxikks? How you doing? How was your weekend, week, whatever?
It's been pretty great. Overall, I've gotten basically nothing done this week. This has been my week off of streaming, thanks to mental health and all that glorious stuff. And I've been mostly focusing on playing with my son and my other children. So,
Oh, how many kids have you got?
I got 3 babies. A 5-year-old girl who is also a gamer. She's currently working on Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And my 4-year-old son, he is a Mario player from, like, he's beat Super Mario 3 on the SNES.
Nice.
And my youngest, his name is Link. So he just turned 2 on the 18th, and he tries to play. The first game he ever played anything of was whenever my boyfriend was playing Bloodborne, and he was figuring out the controls and everything, and was noticing that he could do, like, if he pressed a button, it did something on the screen. So,
Oh, that's cute.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're just the whole gaming family over here.
I see, man. I see. That's awesome. So, how did you come up with your screen name?
Roxxikks, came from my, old circa 2006, RuneScape ID. I just kind of made it up one day because, like, one of my friends was like, you look like a Roxy. I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. And it just kind of stuck ever since. And here it is, like, 11 years later, and I'm still using it. So, it's really weird to think it's been that long. Holy crap. Oh, God, I'm not going to think about that. That's depressing.
I think it's about 8 years since I came up with an Nymphadora. So, yeah. No. Officially over 8 years. Because I started playing WoW in 2008, so...
Oh, nice. Yeah. RuneScape was my gateway drug into MMOs. So.
Nice. So,
like,
where do you hail from?
I am from Statesboro, Georgia, which is about an hour away from Savannah, and we go there quite often.
How am I just now finding out that you're from Georgia?
I don't know. I think we vaguely had this conversation, but I don't remember. But, because you're from Georgia too, aren't you? Aren't you from the Atlanta area?
Yeah. I live west of Atlanta.
Yeah, my best friend lives in Marietta.
Yeah, I live in Smyrna.
Oh my God. I have a friend that lives there too, actually.
That's funny.
Works in the hospitals.
That's funny. I feel like if we've had this conversation, it's been a while since we've talked about it.
This was like when I first came into Girlstreamers. Like, it was like one of the first conversations I had in Discord.
Yes, now that you say that, yeah, it's been a while. Man, yes, I'm loving it. Finding out all these awesome chicks that are in my state. It's so awesome. I love it. Yeah, I was going to say, if you didn't tell me you were from the South, you should be in the South because you sound like you're from the South. So
I was born and raised in Georgia. I lived in South Carolina for a little while. whenever I was married, I was my husband was stationed there, and he was also stationed in Virginia for a while. Got out of that crap, moved back to Georgia where I belong, and here I am, back where I need to be.
Yeah, my brother was stationed down there in Warner Robins, and we just moved him to Colorado last week. I
Oh my
came,
God.
yeah, I came home Thursday morning, and then it snowed up there on Friday. He's like, "Ooh, this is my dog's first time being in the snow."
Yeah, down like I know up there in Atlanta you guys get snow occasionally, but like where I'm at, we don't get anything. Like
Yeah.
we get cold and rain, and sometimes the occasional tornado comes by, but
Yeah, I went to school down in Valdosta, the Valdosta State, so I've been all over this state. Uh-oh, you froze on me. Oh, no. All right, where were we at? Oh, yeah, we were in Georgia,
yeah.
where the internet keeps going in and out.
Oh, it's terrible here. Like Statesboro is a college town. We have Georgia Southern, right? Like I live across from the stadium.
Yeah,
And like we get the highest internet that the place has to offer, but the reliability is, oh my God, it's bad.
it is. It's been, I think it's been statewide, too, because I was noticing when I was doing my speed test the last 2 days, it keeps bouncing servers around the area.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That is amazing. I'm loving this with my internet service. Um, so, what then? All right, let's get back to the podcast questions. What is the first game that you ever played that got you into the gaming world?
Okay, so it is somewhere between Tank on the original Game Boy and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Genesis.
Nice.
It's somewhere between there because those are like my earliest memories. And my dad, he was in the army, so he had a Game Boy that he took with him whenever he was deployed, and he still has it to this day. He still plays it. Like
That's awesome.
like he still plays Tank. He still plays Batman, and he has I can't remember which Mario it is, but like me and my brother used to play Ultimate MK3 so much to the point like it was crazy.
So how long have you been streaming then? And what got you into it?
My boyfriend, he used to work for Machinima, and he did videos for them, and he started doing a little bit of streaming here and there, but he decided he didn't really he's decided that he doesn't really enjoy streaming as much as he does content creating. But I myself, I started getting into it that way, and I'm like, I really enjoy doing this, and
Yeah.
I've been streaming for about a year and a half, somewhere in that, between a year and a half. And the first game that I ever started streaming was Fatal Frame 4 Maiden of Blackwater on the Wii U.
Nice. Very nice. Wow, I didn't realize you've been streaming for about a year and a half. That's pretty awesome.
And I literally, not even, like this month, I hit my 100 follower mark.
That's awesome.
And this month I also received my first donation. So that really is like double whammied up, and I'm sitting here like this month has been the best month for me whenever it comes to my Twitch.
That's awesome. Do you promote stuff on Twitter and everything? Because I know that's where I get most of my stuff done. Twitter is like a great place.
I get most of my stuff done on Instagram, and I also do it on Twitter as well. And I put all my crap out onto Facebook as well, and I just have everything's going to be sent to all of these places at once, and I just do it that way.
Nice. Very nice. So, what would you say is the most embarrassing thing to happen to you on a stream?
Let's see. It's probably something involving my kids, to where they would, okay, yeah. It was whenever my daughter was, she was asking me stuff about Dark Souls. She's like, "Mommy, why are you killing that person?" I'm like, "Because they're bad, Katie." And she's like, "Oh, okay then. You should probably kill them. You should kill them all." I'm like, she. My brother plays Skyrim a lot, and Skyrim and like Assassin's Creed. So he like she loves watching him play Black Flag.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the pirates, and she's used to Jake and the Neverland Pirates, and she's always wanting to watch her Uncle Bubba play the pirate game. And he's had to explain the same thing, that these are bad people, it's okay to kill them. So that's kind of where it came from.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, kids. Oh, man. Yeah. I have a 3-month-old nephew that I had to leave in Colorado, man. Love that kid.
God.
He's so adorable.
The babies.
I know. He's already starting to cut a tooth. So
man. Yeah, that's what my son did. My youngest, my God, that was the worst feeling in the world.
So, and this is my brother's first kid, so they have no idea what they're doing.
Oh, believe me, it doesn't matter if it's your first or your third. There's still things that you have no idea what the hell you're doing. Like, because not every, like, they're all different.
Yeah.
Like, when I had my daughter first, and then I had a son. So there were things that you definitely don't do for a boy or a girl and things like that. And, like, so it was like I was having a, like, completely, like, new parent moment all over again. But then whenever I had my second son, it was a little bit easier, but I breastfed him for a while, like for 15 months. And he, that was a new experience, because with my first two, I didn't really do it. But I was realistically more lazy than anything else, so I decided to go the breastfeeding route, so I wouldn't actually have to get up in the middle of the night. Or whenever I was gaming, I wouldn't have to actually get up and make a bottle or anything. So
just pop it out and just go like, all right, here.
That's exactly what I did. Like, he would just like lay on my leg, and I would just continue. And people would come over and they're like, "That is multitasking if I've ever seen it." I'm like, well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
But breastfeeding is supposed to be one of the best things for babies in the beginning. So,
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So when you stream, what type of games do you play and stream?
I am mostly a Dark Souls and Soulsborne game streamer. I do occasionally play other, like, off-the-wall things. I stick to the horror genre a lot of the times, but occasionally I'll go into some Minecraft for whenever I'm just wanting to chill out. Minecraft, Lego Worlds, and any type of anime-based games I really enjoy. Hatsune Miku Project Diva X, that was my shit when it came out. Oh my god, that was amazing.
So what is your favorite game then?
God, that's a hard one, honestly. I think to this day, Borderlands 2 and Bloodborne are, like, right there with each other, but it's really hard to pick one, because, like, if I'm going off based off of like today's gaming, or am I going on retro gaming? Because I mean, like I have my Kirby shirt on right now, and that holds a really near and dear to my heart place.
You know, this is kind of a two-part question. Like, you know, you can have a favorite game that you're playing right now, but then you can have like a favorite game of all times. Then you can have a favorite game. It's like asking people what their favorite movie is. Like, I don't know, depends on what my mood is today, kind of deal.
Yeah, it really is. Like, that's another one I can't even answer. Like, people ask me what my favorite band is, and I'm like, I don't know. What am I really listening to today? Like, I have a Shinedown tattoo and I have a Beatles tattoo. Those are completely different.
Yes, they are.
But here I am. But I think mostly Borderlands 2 is the game that got me back into gaming, because for a long time I really didn't play many games. But Borderlands 2 is what got me into online multiplayer games, period. And that there's just characters and moments in that it's just like I cried, laughed, everything during that game. Like, the story mode was fucking amazing. Excuse my language, but
it's okay. It's okay. We'll let you pass. I haven't played Borderlands 2 yet. I've played Borderlands. I finally finished Borderlands a few months ago, so I plan on getting back into the genre, back into the series, because somebody gifted me like the whole Borderlands, like everything, recently.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I actually have the Handsome Collection on my PS4 right now, so I haven't been playing that either, and I feel terrible.
There's so
like,
many games.
Oh, believe me, that's like the worst part is, like, I have so many games, some I haven't even opened up yet, like, to start, and like I'm just keep going back to my same games, and I'm like, this is how my life is.
My husband has a friend who used to work for a game company. He was their buyer, so he'd get to go to E3, and so all the games that he already had he'd just send to us. So I can't tell you how many PS3 games we have that are unopened. I have yet to play them, because they're like games that I've never. Some of them are games that I would never buy, but because they were given to us, I'm like, all right, you know, free game, you know. So
believe me, I know the feeling. Like, I have friends on PlayStation. Where, like, I consider most of these guys like my extra brothers. Like, if I needed anything, they would be there. Like, even though they're like across the country. Like, I had to have surgery a couple times, and like my one friend in Massachusetts, he called down with his Boston accent and ordered Chinese food, and my boyfriend went and picked it up for us.
Aww,
and like he does
so
that
sweet.
anytime I'm in a bad mood, or he'll buy me games on PlayStation. Or I have a friend in Alabama. He's just like this big teddy bear of a guy, and he's actually coming to visit with us in a couple months, so we'll finally be able to meet him. And
that's awesome.
Another friend up in New York, he just got married, and I'm gonna be in their wedding whenever they have their ceremony. So it's like the friends you meet online gaming, they're just like none other. Like, I trust these people more with my life than I do like half the people I know around here. So
would you say, because I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Georgia, but I grew up on the east side of the state. So, and that's actually how I met my husband, is online, is through a video game. Would you say that's what attracts you about like Borderlands 2 and stuff like that? Is just, and any kind of MMO, is that it's the community that just
exactly
makes the game?
It really is. Whenever my boyfriend and I first started dating, he got me Borderlands 2, And that whenever we weren't living together, that was what we would do to spend time together. Is we would play Borderlands 2
Oh, that's so cute.
online, and that would be like our bonding time whenever we couldn't be together.
Oh, I love it. That's so cute.
Yeah, like he got me back into playing games, and it was just like the best thing ever.
It's so dorky, but it's so cute. I love dorky love. It makes me so happy.
I mean, like that's why our son is named Link, like from Legend of Zelda.
That is so great.
Like if it was a girl, it would have been Zelda. Like we already had this picked out. We knew it. Like whenever I got pregnant, before we even knew if it was a boy or a girl, we're like, if it's a boy, it's gonna have Link in its name. If it's a girl, it'll be Zelda. And
Link's a cool name, so I mean, at least he's got a cool name to go to school with.
And if he doesn't like that, he also has Killian. Like it's Killian Link. So he has two badass names that he'll either like really love Link when he grows up, or he's gonna hate it and can just go by his first name. But I don't care. Until he can make that choice.
Killian is one of those names that is not a very common name, but you are, I think, the third person I've heard of that used to name their son Killian. Which is really, really, really cool because I've only heard it like 3 times, but I have heard it before. So
yeah, I've only heard like one of my friends. She lives in New York now. She had a son named Killian, but hers was spelled differently than his because my fiance was born in Ireland. My boyfriend was born in Ireland, and so we use the Gaelic spelling of Killian, which is basically just with a C instead of a K. So he's got a unique name that isn't like terrible to spell. So
that's cool. I like it. I like it. That's awesome. That is a badass name.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've had a chance to think about this particular question, but it tends to stump a lot of people. What game character do you think you most closely identify with?
Kirby, because I eat everything, and that's basically what makes me the happiest is when I'm eating.
Oh, really? I know. I'm with you there on that one. I'm with you on that one.
And like that's probably the closest thing I can think of too, because I love most of the characters that I play, but with Dark Souls, you make your own character.
Yeah.
With Bloodborne, you make your own character. In Borderlands, like my favorite character in that game would be like Mad Moxie. And like I am trying to get into the cosplay community, and we're supposed to be going to Dragon Con.
We gotta hook up.
Whenever, like it should be next year that I'll be able to go for my first time, and
awesome.
Mad Moxie is going to be one of my cosplays. So I'm giving myself a year to have the body down for that, which it's going to take me that long.
You know what? It doesn't matter. You
cosplay
really who you want to cosplay. I will say, being an avid Dragon Con goer and an avid cosplayer, they don't give a crap. I was Poison Ivy last year, and
I remember seeing your cosplay from that too, and that was freaking amazing.
People were like, "Oh man, you look great!" Like I was standing next to other like really skinny Poison Ivies, but it was just really cool seeing all the different versions of like people's
the same character.
Yeah, it's amazing how much work people put into their costumes, and Atlanta is like the cosplay center. Like Dragon Con is known for its cosplay. Like that's what people go to Dragon Con for, is for cosplay, and it is like one of the top 3 largest conventions. You know, Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con is the largest, and then you have Gen Con and Dragon Con, which are interchangeable. And Gen Con, people apparently don't cosplay there, and they look at you and judge you for cosplaying. But Dragon Con,
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, Gen Con is more for like games and card games, stuff like that. And it's in the Midwest Indiana is where it's based. But yeah, Gen Con and Dragon Con have about roughly the same amount of people, and those are the top 3 largest conventions. And I'm like, Dragon Con? Really? We're that cool? Atlanta is that cool?
It's pretty interesting. Like my boyfriend, he worked at Dragon Con at the what was it? Land Gaming, I think. I think that's where he worked at, was Land Gaming.
Okay.
But that was right whenever Diablo 3 was coming out.
Oh.
And the Blizzard guys just came out and they let the people that were working there go ahead and start playing, and they also gave out things for Smite because that was getting big around the same time. And
Smite is based out of Cobb County here, I think.
Mhm. Yep.
I think the game developers are from Cobb County, which is kind of wicked and cool at the same time.
Oh, believe me, like anytime the game starts up, you have this giant Georgia logo that anytime anything is done in Georgia, they slap on there. So
it's kind of cool. I like. There's just so much.
It's amazing.
I didn't realize how many games actually have come from this state. There's actually a good bit of stuff that have come from here, and like with the convention and stuff like that. Even with the anime convention, like that stuff's. I mean, we live, in a fairly conservative state, so, we've got some pretty cool, nerdy people here.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
So do you tabletop game at all?
I've wanted to. I really have. I just haven't. Like, I've always wanted to try D&D or like Vampire the Masquerade or something like that.
I've heard of that one.
Like, I have friends that play Vampire the Masquerade, but it's like, it's one of those things where, like, I just feel too awkward. Like, I don't want to be that beginner, even though everyone's a beginner at one point, but the amount of awkwardness is just like, my anxiety can't handle it.
Yeah.
So, I just haven't done it.
Oh my God. I will never forget my first introduction to D&D. My husband was a DM back home because he's from California. So he came out here and he's like, I want to get back into D&D. Because like that was like what they did every Monday night. They went and they played D&D. So some friends of mine from college were like, we're starting up a D&D campaign. Anybody have any da-da-da? And I was like, hey, my husband needs friends and he wants to play D&D. So I took him over there to meet the people I went to college. It was a couple dudes from college who were starting this up, and they were like, are you going to stay? And I said, no, I'm just going to drop him off. It's cool, whatever. And they're like, no, you need to stay. We'll roll you up a character. And that was the rest is history. Like, it was so nerve-wracking because you role play, right? And you're like, you think you're lame, but then like you get into it and everybody else around you is doing it too, and it's like, okay, all right, it's not so bad when you're not alone. Every one of you is a big dork playing this big dorky game.
Yeah, that's like my main thing is like, I just don't like I play RPGs all the time, but like I can. Like, it's different when you're playing a game like on a console or on the computer or something like that versus actually having to interact with people in real life.
Yeah.
And do the same thing. Like,
oh yeah,
I played Neverwinter on PS4 whenever it came over. I played that for a little while, but then I'm like, this is fine and all, but I don't know. And then, like, I was talking to my boyfriend about it. He's like, don't let that ruin anything that you might have thought about Dungeons and Dragons. Don't do it. Because, like, he used to play all the time back whenever he was in college, which was, like, ages ago. So, yeah. He would play, but I,
getting old.
I don't want to think about it. I refuse to admit it.
Well, we're gonna have to just get you into some D&D then, girl. Just gonna have to get you into some D&D. It's fun. It's fun with the right people. We have had campaigns with people that I wanted to. It was a friend and his wife, and I wanted to bitch slap his wife because she's a horrible person, and she basically made her character a horrible person so she could be like, well, I'm just playing the character the way I would play it. And it turns out it's like, no, you're just a bitch. You're just a bad person. And you just wanted an excuse to be a bitch. It's like, I'm okay now that you are up in like Plattsburgh, New York or some crap like that. I don't know. They're in New York now. I'm like, you know what? Good riddance. I don't want you in my life. No, she's just a mean. She's a very opinionated person, and if you're wrong, if you don't agree with her, you're wrong, and that's just how she lives her life. And I'm like, yeah, no, I can have a different opinion.
Yeah. I agree with you completely.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, back to the interview about you. What are there any games that you are excited about coming out this year?
Not as far like I'm really looking forward to Tekken, which comes out in June.
What is that?
Tekken? You've
Yeah.
ever heard of Tekken?
No.
Oh, it's a fighting game.
Okay.
It's like Street Fighter.
I know that.
It's like Tekken is I think they've even done like crossover characters in yeah, they have, haven't they? Yeah. But it's Tekken 7 that is coming out.
Oh, I just looked it up. Okay, I know what game you're talking about now. Okay, yes, I have seen this before.
That Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh my god, is that coming out this year?
November, I believe.
Oh god, I'm ready. I am ready for it.
That was another one of those games that me and my boyfriend used to play whenever like we couldn't be together. Like me, him, and like this really, really old guy would play. And this old guy he loved it because it was a Western, and like he just loved everything about it. We called him Grandpa because that's basically what he was. And he completely was fine with that because like I was like, this was God, like 4 years ago.
Yeah. Did it come out 4 years ago?
No, that's whenever like the Undead Nightmare.
Okay, yeah.
That part, I think that came out like 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption is an old. Dang.
It's pretty old, yeah.
I replay that game all the time. I love that game so freaking much, and I play it differently every time.
Now.
Me too.
Right.
Yes. Oh, Red Dead Redemption.
But I'm also extremely excited about the Dark Souls 3 DLC that comes out in 2 freaking days. Like, I am so ready. But I'm not ready for the game series to end. Like, this is going to be the final DLC, and Dark Souls 3 is the final game that they're putting out. And I'm like, I'm not ready for it to be done, but I kind of am at the same time. Because, like, I like whenever series know when to stop.
Yeah.
Like, not like you're trying to put out a new game just like rehashing the same thing. Cough, cough, Call of Duty. I don't do well with first-person shooters usually. It's just me. It's just one of those things that I'm not very good at, and mainly because I just don't see the fun in it at all. Like, I tried.
I like first-person shooters, but it took me a long time to get into them.
Like, it's just not as easy to get into as...
It's
like,
not.
anything else that involves literally anything else other than, like, war. Except if it's interesting war, you know, like Dynasty Warriors or something like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like,
I love Overwatch. I think they've done a great job with
now
that.
that is something that I am remotely okay with, mainly because it's not your standard.
It's not
like,
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Call of Duty or like any
Yeah,
of those
Halo. Yeah, because I mean, you're right in that first-person shooters are definitely a specific type of game. They're generally, I mean, you can't really do much with a first-person shooter game outside of a war kind of atmosphere. Like that's the whole
Except-
point of it.
Yeah. But like with Overwatch and Battleborn, those were not centered around the exact same things, you know.
Yeah.
Like they actually had different things going for them. And I played the beta of Overwatch and I loved it. Like I just never got around to actually getting the game whenever it came out.
Yeah.
And I'm like kicking myself for not, but I'm thinking about getting it eventually.
I think like I like Call of Duty, but I'm with you on like that is one of those games that they just rehash every year. It's the same game with a different skin basically every year. Very rarely have they had completely different, like I liked Black Ops. Black Ops was good. Black Ops 1 and 2 were good. I did not play Black Ops 3 and I haven't played Modern Warfare. And
I was one of the few people that like Advanced Warfare, whenever it came around, it was something different that they hadn't done. And I was remotely okay at it. But I guess I was mainly happy to play because my boyfriend, he had a Platinum Division clan on Call of Duty, so it was like I was playing with people that, you know, knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And were able to teach me a little bit more about things.
Yeah. I mean, FPSs are like I'm horrible. I'm absolutely horrible, especially on the console at playing FPSs. I'm much better playing at least Overwatch on the computer. I can't play it. I tried to play it on my little cousin's PS4 because I was like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "I have Overwatch. Let's go play." So we went up there, and I was like, "What am I doing?" Like, I don't like the way these things are set up here on the console controller. And like, I like PlayStation over Xbox just because I like the way the controller feels in my hand better. But I felt like a completely noob at playing on a console, trying to go from PC Overwatch to console Overwatch. I'm like, no, this is not for me. You can take this back.
Yeah, I understand. Like, whenever I do a lot of PC games, because I'm a lot more used to using a controller, and as long as the game itself, except for MMOs, I do keyboard and mouse and everything for those, but like if I'm playing like a normal game, like if I'm playing Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2 or something like that on PC, I'm using a controller of some sort, but it's either the Afterglow Xbox controller, which feels a lot better than the other Xbox One controllers, or I'm using a PS4 controller.
Yeah, when I played like Batman, I used my PS controller. I did not. That was really weird trying to play on the keyboard with that. I was like, I'm gonna hook up my controller.
Yeah.
There are certain games that are way better playing with a controller. Oh man. So what is a game that you would want to have rebooted or remastered?
Honestly, probably Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
Okay.
I would love for that to actually get like a graphical update like they did with the Origins collection, or like they're doing with 2 or something like that. Like, I think 3 really deserves that, because that was one of the first Resident Evil games I played, so it's already got a little nice place in my heart. And Jill Valentine is Bae, so like I just really.
We got a lot of Resident Evil players in the community. I do know that much.
Oh yeah, like I played a little bit. Like I did the playable trailer for Resident Evil 7. I was pretty stoked about that coming out. I haven't got it yet, and somehow I've avoided every single spoiler out there.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how I get that lucky with a lot of games. Like, as long as I'm like not actively trying to find out more about it or watching people play it, or like as long as if I do watch someone play it, I don't have any context of what's really going on.
Yeah.
Then I'm fine. But Resident Evil 3, I think, would be a good one to have remastered.
Nice.
Because like that was back on like I played it on Dreamcast. Because Dreamcast is one of my like favorite systems ever, basically. But that's where I played a lot of. I mean, these were more recently. Like, I didn't even get into the Resident Evil series until I was like 21.
Yeah.
So, like, I started playing that, and it just kind of clicked, and here I am now. Like, my boyfriend, he's like super obsessed with Resident Evil. Like, the tattoo that Billy Cohen has in Resident Evil 0, like, is a full sleeve and it says Mother Love and Tribal. He saved his arm for years, like for 15 years. He had that arm clear, and he has that on his complete arm.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna get into a little bit deeper conversation here. I'm gonna get a little serious. This is a serious time in the podcast. Who inspires you to be the woman that you are today?
Oh boy. That's actually a really hard question. Like, whenever like you sent me like the list of questions, I've been thinking about that, and I think it's probably a combination of like I have a few friends that her name is Liz, and she's actually in the Atlanta area, and I've always looked up to her.
Yeah.
I never really knew, like, she was one of my brother's friends, and she was like quite older than me, but she's never afraid to say what she's thinking or how she feels or anything like that. And as the years went by, and like I grew up, and I still always kind of looked up to her, and I never really understood why up until probably the last couple years, and me and her got into like a lot of like super deep conversations, especially about like what's going on in the world today and things like that. We just really clicked on it, a lot of it. So I'd probably say she is like one of those people I put like on a super high pedestal. Like, if I could be like half as much of a woman as she is, then I'd be pretty satisfied. And like I've told her that too, and she's like, she didn't know how to react. And I'm like, she went to college with my brother, and like at the time I never really thought that, this is the girl I'm gonna look up to for the rest of my life. I never thought that, but whenever like as I got older and things like that, it just kind of happened.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what do you like about the Girlstreamers community and being a part of Girlstreamers?
Probably my absolute favorite thing is like the friendships that I've like made with a few of the people in the community. Like, those are friendships that I probably never would have made, and the fact that everyone is so loving Like, there's no catty drama anywhere. You don't have to worry about people that don't actually like gaming or streaming or anything like that. Like, everyone in the community is legit gamers. They actually enjoy gaming and enjoy what they do. And it's super refreshing to know that that community is there.
Oh, thank you. That's what I know. That's what Dead tries to work for. That's what she wanted with the community. So I love this question because I love hearing everybody's answers to this question. Because not gonna lie, it kind of helps me feel better as part of the leadership. I'm like, yes, we're doing our jobs.
You really are. Like, you guys are
awesome. So what keeps you passionate about gaming and just the gaming community in general?
Probably the fact that whenever I'm really down, like, I have a lot of mental health problems, so I get depressed really easily, really quickly, really badly. And one thing I can always turn to is the alternate world of whatever game I'm playing. And in that world, nothing else matters other than what I'm doing there. And I know that no matter what's going on with me, I can always turn to that, and everything is fine there. And I don't actually have to worry as much about what's really going on. And
it's an escape.
Makes things a lot. Yeah, it really is.
No, I feel you on that. It's a great escape place. When you need to just escape what's happening around you, you just need to go and just not think.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I love gaming for that as well. Oh, video games. Let's go kill things. Pew pew.
Oh yeah. It's highly frowned upon to do that in real life, so it's a lot easier just to do it in a virtual aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, let's we don't condone actual killing here at Girlstreamers. Just gonna put that out there. But
it's very frowned upon.
It's very frowned upon here at Girlstreamers. We do not condone that behavior. So what this question always trips people up too. But I still like asking it. Some of these questions I did not come up with, and this one I remember I did not come up with this question. But what one book and one movie would describe you the best?
I am one of those people that, like, I probably should read more than I do, but I don't really read a lot of books. So that question, I have not read a single thing in, like, let's say 5 years.
Oh, girl, you need to get on that. Yeah, I highly recommend the Felicia Day biography. It's very, very good and very, very dorky and geeky.
I love Felicia Day, so I'm actually probably gonna take you up on that.
Yeah, that's I'm in the middle of reading that book. It's really, really good. Really, really good. Felicia Day, come be on our podcast. I want to interview you.
I think everyone would love to see Felicia Day any moment now. Hi. Oh. Hi, Felicia. You should watch this. But one movie that describes me the best, I've been thinking of, this is another one that I was thinking about, and I'm like, there's no way that, like, there's a...
This trips everybody up.
Well, I'm glad to know I'm not the only one.
Nope.
Like, okay. I think I actually have one. Casablanca.
Great movie.
You know, it's very timeless. Super cheesy romance. And that's a lot of who I am. Because I also, in my free time, whenever I'm not gaming or being a mom, I also really enjoy the 60s pinup style.
Yep.
So that Um, I guess it kind of goes into that.
Hey,
That's
it's a good
probably
movie.
the closest thing I can get to a movie that would describe me at all.
Timeless classic. You know what? That's great. That is an awesome description. I like it. I approve. So not that it matters, but I approve anyway. So what is your greatest challenge or obstacle that you have had to overcome in your life?
Getting pregnant whenever I was a teenager and in high school. That my ex-husband was very this is probably gonna get pretty deep real quick. He was extremely manipulative and very controlling. He was 5 years older than me. And it was, or wait, no, he was 7 years older than me. And it was, like, I thought everything was fine, and, 3 years into it, I finally had enough. I mean, there
Yeah.
was, like, I have, to this day, I have extremely bad PTSD from everything that went on in that marriage. But I got 2 wonderful kids that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. They're just part of my life, and I absolutely love it. Like, I wouldn't trade that for anything. And that and the mental health issues I also have bipolar disorder and generalized anxiety, and it's kind of hard to stick to schedules a lot of the time
Oh yeah.
because of all of those. Like, I've just in the last few months, I've been hospitalized twice for it. So it's something I struggle with daily, and it makes parenting and keeping up my gaming kind of hard, but
Yeah.
it's something that I don't regret. Um, it's something that I advocate for a lot of the times. Like, on my Instagram, I advocate for mental health awareness a lot of the times, and one of the tattoos I have is for suicide awareness. So it's something that I didn't focus on the bad and turned it into something good for myself.
That's awesome. My sister-in-law is also bipolar. And she chose to go back on the medication, so she's not breastfeeding. They're 3-month-old, but I noticed when we were moving out to Colorado how it affects her a little bit. She's very good at planning out trips and stuff like that. Unfortunately, when stuff doesn't go the way that her plans want, the way she plans, her anxiety kicks in so bad, and it's like, we're like, honey, you got a 3-month-old. You're not going to have, plans are not going to work anymore. You have to go with the flow. And
that's the hardest thing, is like, if I'm trying to plan something out and it doesn't, like, if anything deviates even slightly,
yeah,
like, that's why I've stopped making plans for most things. I leave it up to my boyfriend and let him deal with it.
yeah.
Like, I can't, if I make the plans and they don't go right, it goes really bad really quick, and I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's on meds. If I'm not on meds, like, you can throw anything out the window, and, like, it's bad.
It's tough, and I have to remind myself constantly to be patient with her, because I mean, she has a mental disability. I mean, there is, you have to be patient with somebody. Like, I suffer from severe depression, from major depression. My other podcast is a mental health podcast. And
I did not know that, actually.
yeah, we were just talking about suicide today on the podcast.
Yep, that's
but it's
something I'm very familiar with.
yeah, we are big advocate. I'm a big advocate of mental health awareness and stuff as well. So that's a challenge. That's an obstacle. And watching my brother and his wife, deal with all of that. Like, she did great on the pregnancy, and she says that she doesn't have postpartum, but I feel like it might hit now that they are not in the state anymore, and mom and dad aren't just a couple of hours away. They have to
oh yeah.
I'm worried for her.
My postpartum depression didn't. My doctor, like, I had a very long history of having postpartum depression with my other two children. So as soon as I gave birth, all the medicine I was taking was breastfeeding friendly. Like, I was really lucky to be able to have that. My doctor put me on my antidepressants immediately after birth, so that any sort of postpartum depression that I may have had was already nipped in the bud immediately. Plus, I need to be back on them anyway to counteract anything with bipolar disorder. My mood stabilizers, I went on those pretty soon after he was born. We had to stay in the NICU with him for 10 days, and I want to say it was a few months after I gave birth that I went on mood stabilizers again, and my anxiety meds I went on as well. So, I mean, I was, like, everything I was taking was breastfeeding friendly, so I was perfectly fine taking them. Like, I would basically just take them at night whenever he was sleeping through the night anyway.
Yeah.
Or he would only wake up, like, once or twice. So it's not like I would really have to worry about him, like, me having to, like, get super drowsy or anything like that, because they didn't do that to me.
Yeah.
Luckily. But
jeez, man, it's tough. And being someone who's sitting there watching it, and it's like,
it's hard.
It's hard to watch someone struggle, knowing that they're struggling, but not admitting that they're struggling. And it's hard because I know my brother's struggling, because he goes to work, he comes home, and the baby's shoved in his arms because she's been at home all day alone with the baby, and then he has to cook and stuff, and because she is showing signs that I think postpartum is going to hit, and it worries me for her, because, like, I love her to death. I think she is an amazing person, and I'm worried that I can't be there.
Mm-hmm. And that's the hardest part, is
yeah,
someone that you care about and you want to be there for them so badly, and you can't. And that is probably what screws me up the most about my friend in Massachusetts. Like, he has a lot of mental health problems, and, like, I originally didn't meet him through gaming. I met him whenever I was admin on a bipolar support group.
Oh.
And I'm a pharmacy tech, and I think we were discussing some of his medications. Like, he was wondering if medicine interaction was possible or something like that. And,
yeah.
Because, like, I was, like, I had the resources to be able to basically tell people, hey, this is the normal dosing, and you should probably talk to your doctor if you're having these side effects and things like that. But whenever that site was shut down, like, I remained really good friends with him, and we got connected up on PS4, and we have been playing games for the last 2 years now, I want to say. Like, we've been gaming together for 2 years, so that's, well, actually now, about a year. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel you. I don't suffer, but I know, I mean, like, I'm the big sister, so I want to take care of my little brother. But anyway, all right, we'll move on. So what trait of yours are you most proud of, and what is your greatest insecurity?
I am most proud of the fact that I am a mother that is also dealing with the mental health issues that I am, and I'm still able to be the best mother that I can be. My greatest insecurity is probably my body after having 3 kids. Like, my boyfriend doesn't have a problem with it or anything like that, and it's mostly me just being hard on myself. And like, I've done nothing whatsoever to change it either up until recently. Like, I've started trying to eat a little bit better and start working out a little bit. Um,
Which
but
will actually help your mental health.
oh my god, it's been helping so much with my mental health. Like, that's been making me like so much, like, I don't know the best way to word it. Like, I'm more grounded, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I work out in the morning, so I'm set for the rest of the day. I don't feel like
That's
I
smart.
need to.
That's good, because it gives you endorphins, and endorphins make you happy, and happy people just don't kill their husbands.
It's exactly what happens. You don't ever hear about the happy maniac wife that goes on a killing spree. You only hear about the really not happy ones doing so.
But yeah, it's the endorphins, and it gives you a high, but it's a good high. It's a
healthy high.
It's a healthy high, and although there are some people who have taken it to the extreme,
yes,
some people take it to
everything is able to be abused.
Yes, moderation is key.
Yes.
But that's good. Yeah, that's awesome. I suck at trying to work out in the morning. I work out in the evening because I'm not a morning person at all.
I'm not a morning person either. So,
that's awesome, though. Yeah, girl, you had 3 kids. Come on now. Don't be insecure. You've had 3 kids.
Oh, I know.
3 awesome kids, it sounds like. 3 pretty badass kids, it sounds like, man.
They are. They're amazing. So.
Have you ever been trolled while streaming?
It was more like after the stream that the trolling commenced, I would say. And it was mostly by my own friends. Like, I didn't know what was really going on. So, like, it was, one of my friends thought it would be a good idea to, like, constantly invade me while I was streaming. And I kept wondering, like, why am I getting invaded all the time? Or, what is going on? And then I found out that it was just him being a dickweed, and, like, it was fine after that.
So it was trolling, but it was friendly trolling.
Yeah. Like, I can honestly say that I have not had to deal with, like, trolling on the level of, like, random people.
Yeah. You've been lucky then. Very lucky. I get trolled constantly. Well, I mean, you know, with my name, I'm a glutton for punishment with a name like Nifedora, because not everybody knows us from Harry Potter. But it's from Harry Potter. Anyway. So what advice would you have, because you've been streaming for about 1.5 years now, you said. So what advice would you have for new people getting into streaming?
Do not do it for just the views or follows or donations or anything like that. That will come in time. If you are serious about wanting to stream, do it for yourself. Play games you want to play. Whatever people see you actually having fun, that's how people stay, and that's how you actually gain your little community of people.
It's good advice right there. Very good advice. So you said you've got 2 band tattoos. Do you have any more cool tattoos?
I have a little Celtic knot right here, Celtic Trinity knot. I have a shine down on my wrist. I have my suicide awareness ribbon. I have a axe that is dripping blood with the rune for 13 and the blade of it on my ribs.
Oh, nice.
And I also have the Beatles on my back, and it says, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one." And that was my first tattoo I ever got. And it's, like, for a first tattoo, it's pretty big, but...
Nice.
That's the only tattoos I have right now, but I have 4 planned tattoos that I'm still, like, working to get the money for right now. I'm getting a Sailor Moon half sleeve on my arm, because Sailor Moon was, like, the first anime that I really got into, like most people our age, and like that and Dragon Ball Z and shit like that. And
I never did get into Dragon Ball Z, but my brother did, so...
I got into it because my brother was into it, and the whole, like, it was just always on whenever we got home from school, so we would watch it. But Sailor Moon half sleeve, and I'm also looking at getting a Disney World tattoo, because I am, like, a super, like, into Disney. Like, I go every year.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Like, we go every December.
That's a good time to go. We went, my senior year, we went to Disney World for Thanksgiving. There's, like, nobody there. It was awesome.
We go, like, we go for the Christmas party.
Sorry.
That's fine.
My phone. Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's completely fine. But, I'm also getting a Betty Page style on my leg, and her blowing a kiss over to Johnny Depp's Crybaby. And I, like, cannot wait for those 2. And I'm also getting, the 4th tattoo was, the rose tattoo from the Dropkick Murphys, album art. So,
okay. Yep.
Those are the ones in planning, and if I don't just, like, get random shit everywhere else. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to that. My wallet is, but...
Right? Oh, man. But when you find a good tattoo artist, man, it's hard not to just, tattoo yourself up. That's one thing, like, when you get one tattoo,
you're already itching for the next one.
Yeah. Like, I will never forget getting my first tattoo, and I'm like, man, I want a second tattoo. I want a third tattoo. I want a fourth tattoo. And I am currently, I myself have, I said, I want to get the semicolon on my wrist for.
That is another one that I want to get.
Yeah. So I'll probably get that when I go get part of my sleeve, because this arm is my sentimental arm. My right arm is my sentimental arm, and my left arm is my geeky arm. So awesome. I'm going to have, like, geek stuff on that arm. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot planned, too. I feel you on that.
Yeah. I've also got my septum pierced currently. My ears are gauged. You can't see them because of the headphones and all. But I used to have a lot more piercings than what I have now. But whenever I got pregnant, most of them rejected out. I had an 8-piece corset on my back. I had my dimples pierced. I had my high nostrils pierced. I had 2 anti-eyebrows right here. I still have the scars from those. I had 2 surface piercings near my collarbones. What else did I have? I had a trident cartilage piercing on my ear. It was 3 piercings on the top of the cartilage, and it goes down the back of your ear. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. That's awesome. You should.
Piercings I have had, but
if you have pictures, you need to post them in Discord because I know the dead mannequin would be all over those. Because she's got some pretty wicked, cool piercings herself. She's got some pretty cool stuff.
Like, I want to get a lot of those piercings back. Oh, my vertical labret was probably my favorite, and I'm probably getting that redone soon.
Oh man, I want the top of my ears done, but I don't want. I think they look cool, but I don't want more than that. Like, I
can understand. Like, I can't do like inside the mouth piercings. Like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like they're just too annoying, and I can't deal with the healing process. Like, that's why my dimple piercings, I loved them so much, but the healing process for those were terrible because I have thick cheeks already. So, like, it's like borderline impossible to find bars that are long enough to accommodate for the swelling that goes on. So,
yes, I woke up dreaming that I got my nose pierced, but like a ring. What do they call it when it's
the septum?
Is it the septum? Okay, yeah, I had a dream that I had my septum pierced, and I was like, I've never wanted that ever. But I think I've seen it on a lot of people, and it's cool. It's crap looking, but I'm like, man, that's weird that I dreamed that I pierced my septum. That's so weird. I guess subconsciously I want it.
So, like, most of my
nice.
Like, most of my piercings were done for free and done at home. So
there you go.
Like, we're actually gonna be getting this stuff for him to redo a couple of my piercings. So.
Oh well, that's
I'm
nice.
looking forward to that.
So I've got 2 more questions for you from me, and then we will start opening up questions to the audience here in the Twitch channel. If there was one person, past or present, that you could have dinner with tonight, who would it be and why?
I would probably say John Lennon.
Oh.
Probably just because I want to ask him, how can he be so cool and be a dick at the same time?
Right?
Like, how is that possible? Like, either him or Jim Morrison. Like...
Oh, man, those are both really good ones.
Like, I honestly... Like, I can't pick between them. And Jim Morrison, I would just want to ask, like, how can... Like, why did he have to die so young? Like,
yeah.
Why? Why did you do this to us?
Those are good ones. Those are very good ones. I like those. What is your strongest passion outside of streaming?
I would say being a mom. And mostly because I just love it. Like, I love being a mom. I never wanted kids, believe it or not. But once I had my kids, I changed my mind.
I would so hope you would after having a kid.
You'd be surprised.
No,
it
you're
took
right.
Me a while.
You're
like,
right.
I had really bad postpartum depression after my daughter, and like, I didn't resent her. Like, I just resented the situation I was in because I had no help, even though my ex-husband was there. Like, he was there, but
he's an ex for a reason.
Oh, yeah. Like, I got probably a total of 4 hours of sleep a week for 5.5 weeks straight.
Oh, that's rough.
And, like, I was, like, suicidal at that point. Like, I was hallucinating. Like, my parents came to Charleston, South Carolina, and, like, watched after my daughter for me since my own husband at the time couldn't do that. And,
well, I'm glad he's out of your life.
Oh, God, me too. Like, he sends child support when he's supposed to, and that is the extent that I deal with him.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you have, you sound like you are an awesome mom, because you've talked about your kids a lot in the podcast. And to me, when a parent talks about their kid all the time, that means that they love their kid. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've actually got sibling at the door, like, banging on my door with toys. Like, I know you're in there. I know you're in there.
Oh, well, we are getting towards the end, so we will go through a couple of these questions here, and then you can go play with Link. So Scooby has given us a ton of questions, so let's go down through here. So if you could live in any universe, what would it be? Game, TV, book, movie, etc. What would be your occupation? What would be your, where would you live? That kind of thing.
Let's see. Probably the Dark Souls universe, and I would just rock out my character and be the Lord of Hollows, and like that, either that or like the Borderlands universe, and I would more than likely go the route of owning my own bar like Moxie and things like that.
Nice. I like it. I think Borderlands would actually be and it'd be kind of like it's kind of like Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a cool little thing to live in, but then bad at the same time because post-apocalyptic kind of deal. But Scooby asked, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
If I could go anywhere, I would either go to Ireland, because that is like my dream place to go. Plus, there's family that my boyfriend has there that he wants like his son to be able to see.
Yeah.
And also, I would love to visit Germany.
Oh.
I took 3.5 years of German in high school, and I was supposed to be able to go, but thanks to my shitty ass ex-husband, I couldn't. So.
Just another tick on the box of why you're an
ex. Oh yeah, exactly.
Okay, Scooby asked, what's the strangest food you've eaten?
Probably either the raw octopus or raw eel in sushi.
Yummy.
Yeah, but eel is like, I had to be in a seriously weird ass mood for that. But whatever. I've gotten used to raw sushi now, so.
I love sushi. Ugh.
I could survive on sushi.
Now. I want some sushi now.
I do
sushi.
too. But there's no place.
Yeah,
there's no place around here that I can.
You kind of have to make your own sushi there.
Oh, believe me, we actually do. We make spam musubi. And it is probably one of the most delicious things ever.
That sounds very interesting. You're going to have to tell me about that particular one.
I will. I'll send you the recipe.
Okay, awesome. That was actually the first thing my husband ever made me was sushi. So Scooby also asked, okay, what kind of food would you like to try that doesn't exist because it's in a movie or a TV show or an anime?
Well, most things that are in anime really do exist.
Yeah.
They're just in Japan. And I am so, I've tried a lot of different foods. About the only things that I haven't tried, I'm Puerto Rican, and my dad didn't make a lot of Puerto Rican food growing up because my mom was always he was always the ones that, my mom made a lot of the food, not my dad. And Puerto Rican food is, probably number one on the list of things that I have to start learning to make myself.
Yeah. I've had Cuban, but I've never had Puerto Rican food, now that I think about it. We've got this really good Cuban restaurant in downtown Marietta that is, oh my God, delicious.
I think I know what you're talking about, too. Like I've heard of it.
I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, it's a really good. It's a really good restaurant. Okay, so dang it, Scooby, you have so many questions. If you could be anyone in the world for one day, past or present, who would you be?
Honestly, I don't know. There's not really anyone that I would want to trade places with. So I'm not really sure. That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. That's one of those that you'd have to like think about for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what about this one? Do you play any musical instruments, or have you ever wanted to?
I was actually like, I don't play musical instruments, but I was originally gonna go to school for music production.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Like that was originally what I was gonna go for.
Have you ever thought about going now that you are older, and your children are more, and your children are older?
I'm probably gonna wait until like they're all in school and try it then. But I'm not really looking at doing that right this second.
Yeah, it's expensive. School is expensive.
Yes, it is.
Do you have a favorite song or music? She said gender. I think she meant genre.
My favorite genre is rock, realistically. Rock and heavy metal and things like that. But I also tend to favor Irish traditional music. I go like anything that sounds really good.
Anything that sounds really good. Nice. I like Celtic music too.
Mm-hmm.
I love Celtic music because I love listening to it like when I read.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I love Celtic music. What is your favorite food and drink?
My favorite food is probably any form of chicken Alfredo. My favorite drink is sweet tea, because sweet tea rules the world in the South. So
it is like a currency down here.
It really is.
I think I'm going to. We are getting. She asked a lot of other questions that we kind of addressed a little bit. So let's see. Here, we'll ask one. Do you like superheroes?
I love superheroes.
Do you prefer Marvel or DC, or you like both?
I like both because I kind of mix and match between the two universes. So it's not really. I don't like. I have a lot more favorites, you'd say, in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But DC is still pretty awesome.
I am a total Batman fan. Batwoman.
Oh, I understand
that. But I think that's going to be it. I think that kind of pushes us to our limit. So thank you, Scooby, for all those awesome questions. So where and when can we find you streaming?
Most of whenever this this coming week, starting tomorrow, Tuesdays and Thursdays, around 8 to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard, and on the weekends I stream either Saturday or Sunday. So I put out messages on which day it's going to be, usually on Twitch, tweet it out, all that kind of stuff. You can find me everywhere at Roxxikks, just the same as my Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Everything's the same. Everything's the same spelling. I'm easy to find.
So the way you say your name is actually Roxxikks.
Yep.
Okay, because I read it as Roxxikks.
Oh yeah, it's fine. So many people do that too.
So
it's
now
okay.
I know how to say your name properly. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, even though we had a few weird technical difficulties at the beginning.
Oh, it's fine. It's what happens.
Yeah, it is. We have technical difficulties every week. It happens.
Oh, it's fine. Oh, I just saw in the comments, Dim Sum. He's one of my followers, and he said something about. Wait, where did it go?
He asked if you were hungover this morning.
I was not, because I don't get hangovers.
Nice. All right, well, I'm going to close us out, and thank you again so much for joining me.
It was so much fun. I loved it.
I'm so glad that you were able to make it, and I know that the schedule kind of got a little crazy, so thank you so much for joining me.
Of course.
This has been a Girlstreamers podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Girlstreamers is partnered with Loot Crate, Fresh Designs, Punk's Paracord, Simple Jerky, UN Racing Chairs, and Glom Tom. Links to all these amazing partners are down below, so please feel free to click. Thank you guys for all your support. Please follow us at Girlstreamers on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. And if you have any questions or would like more information, you can go to our website at girlstreamers.com and contact us through there. Our email is contact girlstreamer. Wait, what is our new email? We have a new email. I don't know. You can contact us through the Girlstreamer website. I don't remember our email right now. You can donate to Girlstreamers via GameWhisk. And get an opportunity to actually join us if you subscribe to us on Tier 2 via GameWhisk. You can join us in the Discord and talk to these awesome girls. And you can buy some super cool gear on our online shop at designedbyhumans.com/shop/Girlstreamers. You can find Roxxikks on Twitter at ROXXIKKS and on Twitch at twitch.tv/ROXXIKKS. Our next podcast will be April 9th with Aaliyah right here, same time. And this podcast is a part of Two Lazy Dogs Media Group and the Girlstreamers community. Encourage, support, grow.